Remember the sound of the internet waking up? The mechanical screech of a dial-up modem, followed by the excruciating wait as an image loaded line by line. In the late 1990s, the gateway to this new digital frontier was a blue letter E. For a decade, Internet Explorer was not just a piece of software, it was the internet. Microsoft held an absolute, ruthless monopoly, commanding 95% of the global market. But empires built on complacency are destined to fall. This is the story of the most brutal corporate war in software history, a story of antitrust lawsuits, aggressive marketing, and how a search engine company engineered an assassin to destroy a giant. Welcome to the Tech Brief. To understand the death of Internet Explorer, we have to look at its first victim, Netscape Navigator. In 1995, Netscape was the king of the early web, but Bill Gates saw the internet as a direct threat to the Windows operating system. If everything could be done inside a web browser, the underlying operating system would not matter anymore. Microsoft launched a devastating counterattack. They created Internet Explorer and did something unprecedented. They bundled it for free with every copy of Windows. They used their operating system monopoly to force Netscape into a war of attrition it could not win. Netscape had to charge money for their software. Microsoft gave theirs away. By the early 2000s, Netscape was completely annihilated. Microsoft had won the first browser war. But their victory initiated the Dark Ages of the World Wide Web. With a 95% market share, Microsoft stopped trying. They released Internet Explorer 6 in 2001 and then essentially abandoned it for 5 years. The web stagnated. IE6 became notorious for terrible security flaws, endless malware infections, and a clunky interface that spawned the nightmare of infinite pop-up windows. Web developers hated it because it ignored universal coding standards, forcing them to write separate code just for Microsoft. But users had no choice. It was the default, and it was everywhere. However, the internet was evolving. We were entering the era of Web 2.0. Websites were transforming from static text pages into complex interactive applications like YouTube, Gmail, and Facebook. The browser was no longer just a document viewer. It was becoming an operating system. And Internet Explorer was choking on this new heavy code. It was slow, prone to crashing, and deeply insecure. A rebellion was forming. Mozilla Firefox emerged from the ashes of Netscape and began taking small bites out of Microsoft's share, proving that users wanted tabbed browsing and speed. But to take down a monopoly, you do not just need a better product, you need a titan with unlimited resources. You need Google. In 2008, Google was already the undisputed king of search, but they had a massive vulnerability. To search Google, you had to use a browser made by someone else, usually Microsoft. Google realized that if Microsoft decided to make Bing the default search engine in Internet Explorer, Google's primary revenue stream could be wiped out overnight. Furthermore, Google's entire business model relied on people spending more time on the web, clicking on more ads. A slow, crashing web browser was literally costing Google money. Every millisecond a user waited for a page to load was lost revenue. So, under the leadership of Sundar Pichai, a secretive team at Google built a weapon designed for one specific task: pure, unadulterated speed. On September 2, 2008, Google shocked the tech world by launching Google Chrome. From the outside, it was incredibly minimalist. It stripped away the messy toolbars and cluttered menus of IE, leaving almost nothing but the web page itself. But under the hood, Chrome was an engineering masterpiece. It introduced a new JavaScript engine called V8, which compiled code directly into machine language, running heavy web applications faster than anyone thought possible. And it introduced sandboxing. If one tab crashed, The rest of the browser stayed alive. It was stable, sleek, and blazing fast. The second browser war had begun, but Google did not fight fair. They used their massive homepage, the most visited website on Earth, to promote Chrome. A simple, polite link appeared under the Google search bar, seen by billions of people every day. It was a marketing advantage no other company could match. Slowly but surely, users started downloading Chrome, and once they experienced the speed, they never went back to the blue E. Internet Explorer quickly became a running joke, known across the internet primarily as the best browser for downloading Google Chrome. As Chrome gained dominance, it also took on the role of the internet's executioner. For years, complex animations and videos on the web were powered by Adobe Flash Player. But Flash was notoriously insecure, heavy, and drained battery life. While Steve Jobs famously banned Flash from the iPhone, it was Google Chrome that drove the final nail into its coffin on desktop computers. Chrome began blocking Flash by default, forcing the entire web to shift to modern, open standards like HTML5. Google was no longer just participating in the web, they were dictating its architecture. By 2012, Chrome officially surpassed Internet Explorer as the most popular browser in the world. Microsoft's monopoly was broken. They tried to fight back with newer versions of IE, but the brand was permanently tainted by a decade of frustration. In a stunning admission of defeat, Microsoft eventually killed Internet Explorer entirely. They replaced it with Edge, a new browser built on Chromium, the exact same open-source engine that powers Google Chrome. The war was over. Google had won total victory. Today, Chrome holds nearly 70% of the global market. The assassin became the king. But history has a strange way of repeating itself. As Chrome becomes heavier, more memory-hungry, and deeply integrated with Google's advertising ecosystem, some developers warn that Google now holds the same dangerous monopoly power that Microsoft once did. The machine built to save the open web has now become its ultimate gatekeeper. Subscribe to the Tech Brief for more cinematic deep dives into the hidden technologies and decisions that shape our modern reality. End of transmission.